Plants vs. Zombies. After not playing since my childhood, I've been playing a bit more lately. And I had a question. What plants are the best? So, I decided to rank them. These rankings are going to be based on practicality, price, recharge time, and anything else I feel is relevant. With that being said, let's rank them. 49, Twin Sunflower. I decided to rank the sunflower plants within everything else because they don't relate at all and it's more fun that way. After being completely honest, I don't know a single use for this. It's completely unnecessary and the slow recharge just doesn't make sense to me. By the time you make your sun back, the level is pretty much over. Yeah, I don't really care for this. 48, Gold Magnet. This plant I really see no practical use for outside of coin farming. Sure, it picks up coins, but unless you're coin farming, there's literally no reason you can't just pick them up yourself. I don't know, it feels rather limited. 47, Imitator. 30,000 coins. I played this game coin farming for about 3 hours to get this plant. And what did it give me? Just about nothing. You can make a second plant of the same. For some of the slow charging plants, this could be effective, but I didn't find it to be very helpful. For me personally, its practicality level is quite low. 46, Marigold. It's kind of funny. In the main game of Plants vs. Zombies, this is almost 100% useless. Marigolds give you coins to use to buy other plants, seed slots, and more, but they actually really helped me recording this video. I needed a lot of coins and coin farmed a few times in Last Stand in order to finish this. But, in general, they're pretty useless. 45, Plantern. It clears the fog. Useful for about 10 levels. You have to put it far up, and they usually get eaten because of it. It's cool, I guess, but the other options are just far superior to me. At least it's cheap. But yeah, not much to mention. 44, Umbrella Leaf. This is one of the few plants I never used before this video. It's a neat idea, but I'm not totally convinced it's worth it. I've had zero issues beating levels that these would protect something from, and they're only useful on the roof. It's a cool concept, but not really my cup of JoJo. 43, Ice Shroom. This has a little bit of practical use, and it obviously is critical to use to beat Zomboss, but I've never cared for it that much. It freezes the field, and they stay slow for a little bit. I feel like there's better plants to use, and that's really all I have to say on it. 42, Flower Pot. The flower pot is a necessary plant. Heck, if a flower pot is a plant, then I'm a widowed man in his 40s, but I digress. It's necessary to beat the roof levels, and it kind of is just, more annoying than anything, and is only needed on 9 levels. 41, Lily Pad. It's the flower pot, but in the water, and useful in twice as many levels. One funny thing I noticed is that it has eyes? Since when? Is that why I could never catch frogs as a kid? 40, Cabbage Pult. I didn't really know how to rank this next to the pea shooter, so I'll get nerdy for you. According to the Plants vs. Zombies wiki, the pea shooter does 20 damage every 1.425 seconds, and the Cabbage Pult does 40 damage every 2.925 seconds. So, for each doing 40 damage, the pea shooter takes 2.85 seconds, whereas the Cabbage Pult does it in 2.925. Pea shooter wins. 39, Pea shooter. The good old classic pea shooter. When I think of average, this comes to mind. The pea shooter costs 100 sun, and there's not a ton to say about it. It resembles the game at its core, but there's nothing special. It feels like describing vanilla ice cream. 38, Cactus. The cactus has the exact same stats as the pea shooter, except it can rise up and pop balloon zombies. My sister used to have a cactus, I think. I'm not a plant guy, except when they're fighting zombies. And that thing did not have the ability of quick growth. Where can I find one like that? 37, Chomper. You know, I never loved these guys. They have a minigame that's just chompers, but it takes 42 seconds for them to eat again. 42! You know what I can do in 42 seconds? A ton of stuff. Make food, go for a walk, watch a Trailblazers game, ask you guys to subscribe. Okay, no joke, if you're enjoying the vid, please subscribe, it means a lot, thanks. But yeah, Chomper isn't great. 36, Gatling Pea. Honestly, this just feels over the top at this point. 4 at once? Its recharge is slow, it's expensive, and you need a repeater to plant it. It does a lot of damage when it's cooking, but it doesn't really feel necessary. I'll give it one thing though, even Steph Curry couldn't hit this many shots this fast. 35, Split Pea. It's extremely useful for minor zombies, but outside of that, there isn't much worth mentioning. It's cool that it shoots 2 peas from the back, but still pretty simple. However, if there was one plant that reminded me of Tow Mater, it would be this one. 34, Blover. Blover! The better fog clearer than the Plantern. Kinda pricey, but it also blows away balloon zombies. I just always liked this better. It really cleared the stage, whereas the Plantern kind of cleared it visually. Blover, you, my friend, are a W. 33, Cherry Bomb. Hanging towards the expensive side, the cherry bomb is very helpful to clear large amounts of enemies. It's a little frustrating due to its slow recharge time, but overall, it can help you get out of a lot of tight situations. It's able to clear 3 lanes if placed right, and it's fun to blow up some zombies. 32, Walnut. When I was younger, I never used this plant, but replaying it, I realized the amount of value it has. It's really helpful. Its brother, the tall nut, is a lot better, but the walnut shouldn't be slept on. My favorite part of this is the different faces he makes when he slowly gets eaten. Even though they're sad, they're pretty funny. 31, Potato Mine. I don't know why, but I love the Potato Mine. This guy seems to always save me from zombies infiltrating the house. It takes a bit of time to get ready, but man, for the cost, it is always a sure option to take one of those pests out. He just looks so happy too. 30, Garlic. The garlic has a ton of strategies you can build around it. It pushes zombies into other lanes, so if you use it wisely, you can steer zombies into spots for better group damage. It's a lot of fun to use, and it also lasts a long time. Garlic Parmesan is also the best flavor of chicken wing, and I wanted to mention that real quick. Okay, next. 29, Scaredy Shroom. I have a love-hate relationship with the Scaredy Shroom. It rocks when it rocks, but it is so lame when it shrivels up and cowers. I'm so glad it's cheap, and it's very helpful a lot of the time, but sometimes it sucks. Gain some courage, man. 28, Tall Nut. The tall nut beats the walnut in just about everything. It's taller, so dolphins and pole vaulters can't go past it, and it feels like such a tank. It has more health, and overall is just better. The sun price feels fair, and if it gets thrown on a lane, I really don't have to worry about that lane anymore. Really cool plant. 27, Tangle Kelp. Honestly, nothing feels better than swallowing one of the stupid dolphin zombies with this. The kelp is a free kill in the water, and even with its recharge, it's very useful. Cheap, gross seaweed, and I'm pretty sure Neville recommended this to Harry. 26, Spike Rock. It's just a more invincible, better version of Spikeweed, but it's hard to unlock. It's cool, but I wouldn't say it rocks. I just don't see why I'd use this instead of Spikeweed, but hey, to each their own. Yay, Spike Rock. How do I end this segment? 25, Spikeweed. I never had a ton of respect for Spikeweed until one day everything changed. Zombotany 2 sucks and it's terrible, but with Spikeweed I kinda cheesed it, and I didn't feel bad at all. Spikeweed is fairly useful, and sometimes it's fun to mess with and see what you can accomplish. Popping tires is cool too, and in general, it's a solid plant. 24, Hypno Shroom. This is what I like to call a bailout plant. Football zombie? Take a nibble. Boogie fever? How about a bite? It's weird to me that the zombies are interested in eating Tide Pods, but hey, better than me. For real though, very useful and much appreciated in runs. 23, Sea Shroom. Zero cost, water plant, what could go wrong? Outside of a horrendous recharge time, it's fine I guess. You can only use it in a few levels, which sucks, but it's solid and can help stall as you build a team up. The Puff Shroom is better for level coverage and recharge time, and sometimes I planted lily pads with Puff Shrooms instead of this. Good idea though. 22, Kernel Pult. It's corn. I actually never listened to that song. However, it's corn and butter. Butter freezes the zombies for a bit and does double damage, but it's okay. It doesn't fire the fastest, and corn does a small amount, which sucks, but like I said, it's okay. I used to be a huge fan of these, but they fell off a little. Plus ratio. 21, Jalapeno. Also pronounced jalapeno, this takes out all the zombies in a lane. It's like the lawnmower, but without the lawnmower. Spicy. It's very fun to use, and also clears ice from the back of lanes, which is cool. It works fast, isn't terribly priced, and it's just a solid plant. 20, Three Peter. I have a few issues with what would have otherwise been a very solid plant. 325 sun? That takes an awful while to get. Plus, in the side lanes, it only shoots 2. It's literally called Three Peter. Innovate next time. It's decent, I just think there's better plants. 19, Doom Shroom. Boom kaboom shmoom froom. That's what this plant is. It literally blows up every zombie that thinks, and my god is it fun. They just go Banjo-Kazooie. It has slow recharge time, but doom, it is fun to use. 18, Starfruit. When you get your first level full of Starfruit shooting, it is legendary. Until you get that set up, it sucks. Starfruit doesn't shoot do right, and it gets scary in early stages, but planting a lot of these feels unstoppable. Very fun to use, and if used correctly, it makes you the star. What a terrible pun, oh my god. 17, Squash. This is a perfect play on words plant. It squashes the bad guys. I like it because it's cheap and quick, and it can also attack backwards. If I had to rate it on a scale of 1 to 2, I would give it at least a 2. As a food though, 1. Squash is gross. 16, Coffee Bean. The coffee bean unlocks so much potential for havoc. You plant it on a mushroom in the day, and it awakens. You can do a lot with night plants in the day, and it provides for a lot of cool ideas. The hardest part of it is the price, but some of the plants provide so much help during the day that it is worth it. 15 repeater. It's the pea shooter but doubled. Ta-da! The only thing this really has over the pea shooter is it takes half the space to plant one of these versus 2 pea shooters. It's cool, but there isn't a ton to say. Combining this with other plants could be very useful, but it's solid. 14 magnet shroom. I really like this guy because he makes my job a heck of a lot easier. Removing helmets, pogos, and more is super nice, and it's very enjoyable. Plants like these I feel are more innovative and useful, and I wish we had more ideas like this. Nonetheless, it's always worth it to put these down, and it feels like you've lost a ton when they get eaten. 13 sun shroom. If the sun shroom was able to be useful in the day, this would be my favorite sun producer. The idea that it has to grow overnight is awesome, and I really like this plant. It hurts more when it gets eaten because you have to wait a while for it to grow back, but that's part of the challenge. Sun shrooms are dope. 12 puff shroom. If you want to talk cost efficient, now we're talking cost efficient. I don't know why I brought that voice out, but I did anyway. It's literally free. There's a lot of night levels you can beat if you only use puff shrooms, and since they're free, that should tell you a lot. They don't have a far range, but loading up a ton of them works well. For night levels, can't ask for a lot more. 11 cattail. I never really used this to its full potential before, but my god, this plant is awesome. It locks down to targets that are in and out of its lane, and it's just a blast to watch destroy zombies. If you add a few, it really gets nuts, and I enjoy this a ton. The biggest drawback is it requires a lily pad, but nonetheless, this cat's tail is perky. Do people say that? 10 cob cannon. Confirmed reaction of my first time using this. Oh my god! I literally yelled when this corn missile plummeted to the ground from space and destroyed the plants on the ground. Extremely impractical, but holy heavens, when I got a team of this, it felt like a brand new Plants vs. Zombies minigame. 9 melon pult. Okay, let me ask you this, cool YouTube viewer. Have you ever had a melon dropped in your head? Because it hurts. I think. It hasn't happened to me. This plant is dope. It does a ton of damage, it gives concussions, which isn't why it's dope. It's just a green, mean watermelon machine of doom. A lot of fun to use though. 8 winter melon. Now, cool YouTube viewer, have you ever had a frozen watermelon dropped on your head? I hope not, because I imagine it would also hurt. It's probably because I'm new to this plant, but sheesh, it freezes side lanes too? Completely worth the wait. One would say it's chilling. 7 gravebuster. I can't tell you why, but I've adored this plant since I played this game for the first time. All it does is remove graves. Maybe it's just satisfying for me, but I appreciate it a ton for whatever reason. The final waves of night levels spawn zombies from graves, but outside of taking care of those, it really doesn't do much. But I love it. 6 fume shroom. When I think of Plants vs. Zombies, I think of 2 plants. The snow pea and the fume shroom. Why? No idea. I cannot give you one reason as to why I love this much, but it's probably because I had trouble with the shield guys when I was younger. They're cheap, fun, and I've always liked them. If they had unlimited range, they'd probably be my favorite plant. 5 sunflower. Without anything else, this is probably the most valuable plant as it provides most of what you can create. It works on every stage, although slower on the night levels. There's been a few people who beat the game without a sunflower, which is pretty crazy to me. The sunflower is by far one of the most valuable plants, and it's challenging to rank because it produces sun instead of attacking. 4 gloom shroom. This is the ultimate plant to find its true potential. I used this for years while grinding coins because it can decimate zombies. What an awesome plant. I have a ton of good things to say about it, but literally just look. Look. I don't think it's gloomy at all. 3 pumpkin. This is definitely my favorite protection plant, and for one main reason. You can plant other plants inside of it. It saves space, is very cool, and reads more out of a book than LeBron James. On a serious note, it has the same protection as a walnut, but it's just super duper cool. I mean, look at it. 2 snow pea. The snow pea is and always has been one of my favorite plants. Pretty cheap for its ability, if you ask me, and slows down zombies quite a lot. Anytime I can get a row of snow peas in, I'm probably winning the level. It's as simple as that. Very effective, pretty cost efficient, and all around a great plant. Number 1, torchwood. Torchwood has one flaw, and it's that it counters with snow peas. But oh my god, does it do damage. Every pea that goes through this thing starts burning, except of course snow peas, and my god, you can get some crazy stuff working. With repeaters and torchwood, you could probably beat every level easily. It's just so epic, so awesome, and it is my number 1 favorite plant to use in this game. There you go. Every plant in Plants vs. Zombies ranked. Let me know what I got wrong and if somehow miraculously I got anything right. Thanks for watching, have yourself an awesome day, and hopefully I can see you later.